So Joe Cox, Jacob Everett, Dennis Johnson, Eric Hayden, Emily Pearson.
Present.
Sorry about that. First up on the agenda is town.
So 3 of the 5 are present.
3 of the 5, we have a quorum, sorry. Under Town Council, 2027 CCMG. I think this is regarding West Jackson.
No,
It's East Jackson.
it's East Jackson. So this is, I didn't realize that people weren't going to be here, so I need to sit up, don't I? I asked that, we need to make a decision what we're going to do for the 2027 CCMG grant. There's been a proposal of continuing on with
West Jackson.
between Pearl and Main Street, Jackson. And then,
Okay, West Jackson, okay.
okay, in that intersection, what are we going to do? So there have
Okay.
been proposals, and I think, Dan, there's been discussion on who we want to move forward with and what the next steps are, right? If we want United to start working that. So they would have to put together a task order, I believe.
That would be correct. And what portion of the work you want to do, whether you want to include sidewalks, lights, how far you want to go with the sidewalks. And then also the other thing would be whether you want to install the additional line for the possibility of future water line down there. That was an additional option that Keith presented as well, and broke that cost out separately.
So the last council meeting, we talked about that we would have that discussion during staff meeting. But really, I think we need the entire staff, council to have this discussion. Everybody going to be at the town council meeting on Tuesday?
I believe so.
Okay, can you put this,
I will.
well, Keith will bring it up, so it's
Okay.
probably there.
Good enough.
But we need to make a decision.
All right, then moving on to e-moto, e-bike updates.
So where we left it last, 1 second. Where we left it at the last council meeting is we made updates of what had to happen, and we were going to go back, and there was a little bit of a difference of opinions if e-motos, so this is the dirt bike looking machines that do not have pedals, so they are not considered an e-bike. If we were going to allow those, if they put taillights, headlights, taillight, brake light, and 15 years old, under 750 watts, and they had to wear a helmet. And carry an ID card. If we were going to allow that or not allow them at all on public roads. I was of the opinion to not allow them at all. In the email that I sent to Aaron to guide him, that is not what I said in my email. I meant to. The intent was we were going to have him be prepared for 2. I did not do that, so we need to tell him what we want, if we want to allow them with those requirements or not allow them on roads at all. Tonight, we need to make that decision so that he can come prepared on Tuesday with this ordinance so we can pass it. Or so that it can be voted on. So I am opposed. A dirt bike is not allowed unless it's licensed, plated on roads. I know that's not an electric motor, but it's the same thing. So in my opinion, they should not be used on town property. Mr. Redna, Chief Redna?
Like I said before, that was my thought. I think I told you to the clerk's office one day today when you asked me the other day. But that's talking to Joe, trying to compromise, I wouldn't fight anything if you put it back on the road that required all the elements you just mentioned. I just wanted to say, I know Westfield just passed an ordinance and they banned them. I seen one where Swayze, Indiana, passed one and they banned them.
I think Noblesville is allowing them.
Noblesville, I tried to look hers up today, and I'm not 100% sure on what they did.
I just looked, so maybe it was one from up north. Somebody just allowed them, but I think the majority of communities are banning them.
motorcycles that are not plated or not licensed, and people not licensed riders, you know, and insurance and all the requirements that a normal motorcycle would have, and that's the logic they're using. But like I said, when I called the prosecutor's office and spoke to one of the deputy prosecutors to see if they were prosecuting for any of that, that's when they kind of blew me off and referred me to Fishers, that Fishers doing an ordinance, maybe we should get hold of them to see what they're doing. So I don't know if our county is actually prosecuting anything yet. If we were to send somebody down there for riding a motorcycle, that's in violation, but.
Well, we're prosecuting, well, we are ticketing within our own, right?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So, and then if it doesn't go there, then it goes to the
If
prosecutor.
somebody wants to fight, if we do the ordinance bureau, then if somebody wants to fight that, or plead not guilty, then we have some county court, absolutely. So I just want to say that, and a couple other communities have actually banned them also.
Yeah, I think Westfield is banning them, I think, so there's several.
These are the two that I noticed.
Okay.
Have you heard about Carmel?
Seems like,
Carmel is allowing them on certain locations, last I seen, unless they change their ordinance.
I think there might be changes, but I've read so many.
That's
It's,
the problem I get.
where I have read, the majority of them are banning, it seems like, but I have seen a few that have allowed them on roads, not on trails, on roads. And that seems like a disaster.
Yeah, and I got a couple more complaints on the E-Moto, like I told you last time, E-Moto is what I get space complaints on. And I've got a couple more since our meeting last week on them, on the way they drive and just do whatever they want, but yeah.
So I would like to put it in the ordinance that they are not allowed on public roads or public property.
Roads, trails, or sidewalks.
Any public property, yes.
So do we need to,
I just need to,
Vote?
no, we don't need to vote. We will vote, we will take a vote on the ordinance. We need to direct Aaron that they are not allowed. And I spoke to Joe, and I believe he is leaning that way.
I have spoken to the last time when we talked about this kind of treatment of mopeds and putting those extra restrictions on them.
That was before the last council meeting, though, correct?
That was, yes.
Yeah, so I think he's had a little bit of change of heart, but he would be able to make that decision on his own when we vote on the ordinance. So the consensus is to leave them or to have Aaron say they are not allowed on public property?
and whatever our decision is tonight, it can still be debated on Tuesday. Because if we
Yes.
say ban them
So
tonight,
we would ask, I think what the right decision would be to ask Aaron to have two ordinances.
I still think that's the thing to do, because the only exception that I would have is somebody comes and plates it, does all the things they've got to do.
Well, if they plating it, I don't even know if you can, but if you plate it.
Can you plate
doesn't-
it E-Moto?
It takes certain, I mean, you gotta have like 17-digit VIN number initially, and then meet all the DOT requirements, you probably could. But they don't have headlights, they don't have tail lights, they don't have brake lights, they don't have turn signals, they don't have all the other.
Okay.
Yeah, if they don't
I'm
have all
good.
that, they don't.
I'm
need
good.
it on
Let's,
the
I would
roads.
say write it up for a ban.
Without, okay. So you want me to send the email to Aaron, or would you like, I'll send it and copy you, Mr. Strong, and if you'll follow up with him,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Remind me to do that before I leave tonight, please. Thanks,
Thank
Chief.
you.
Rate
So
study,
I guess you were not here. The other thing
I
is,
wasn't.
we are allowing all e-bikes, but there are requirements, Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, but there are requirements that go with all of those. Max speed on trails, max speed on roads, and they have to follow, like coming across the causeway, the 3-foot rule. If you're going to pass, you have to notify before you pass somebody. So there is a long list of helmets.
Balance.
So there is a long list of
Audible
requirements.
commands, things. I mean, it's just bike etiquette. I've ridden the roads with the tour bike for years and through parks, but you always had to communicate, and I don't think a lot of that's happening. So, okay,
Good.
I'm good. Rate study, FMR, tap fees, availability fees.
Yeah, we need to really discuss that and get something going. I sent an email to Baker Tilly, and they're both out of the office this week. But I sent you guys the copy of the water and sewer budget for 2027. Do you guys have that? Can you-
I
do.
have it, I got it.
I want you to take a look, particularly at page 2 on the water.
It's an Excel file.
I'm sorry?
Isn't it an Excel file?
I don't know if it's Excel or if it's just a PDF. Yeah, I think it is actually an Excel.
Okay, so I don't know where page 2 is, but go ahead.
Oh, it starts with, actually, it's just where it does the calculation at the end where it says water operating.
Okay,
Right above that, you see capital outlays.
maybe I'm on the wrong.
And I've always had a.
Water operating, okay.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. The very last item is capital outlays. You'll see there's the equipment for vehicles, and then the second one is a bond payment. That's always been in there as a placeholder, not knowing when we were going to do a plant or a tower, and/or both. However, I have I did an amortization and at a $10 million bond for 20 years at 4%, our minimum payment is going to be $740,000. If you look at the end of this sheet, it says balance 2027 is $566,000. However, I do have $1.5 million in bond or in CD, and I don't think I'm going to renew the $1 million one.
It's up.
It'll take a minute. You're
It's
on.
Yeah.
up, so-
Okay, so yeah. Scroll down.
So here's your 566.
Here it is, okay, so scroll up just to the, up. See, here I have a bond in there. I did a $10 million for 20 years, I did amortization schedule at 4%. That minimum payment is $740, and if we add another $440,000, that's significantly, there goes our balance. So I don't know if you guys want me to go ahead and invest that $1.5 million in the CD. I don't think I'm gonna need it if we, obviously, we're a couple of years out if we do water, but we need to start, because we don't have any rate increases in place for 2026. The last one we did was July of 2025. We don't have any, and we don't have a rate study with any rate increases. Not that I think we need to raise rates, but we can't sustain this and do raises without any rate increases, because water and sewer are independent on them. The rates they charge are all they have to pay for their whole budget. We don't get any of the town's general tax revenue. So we need to get a rate study in place and see what Baker Tilly has to say.
Yep,
That's how I feel about that.
it seems like it's a lot more this year, but
It does. Actually, not really. Well,
no,
last year was
no, to
1.6.
do the rate study, it seems
Oh,
like it's
yeah.
much more expensive.
They're always costly. They're just very costly,
Yeah, for
but we got to
each.
do it.
For each, it's 12,000 for the FMR and 5 for the additional rate study for each department, so you're 34,000.
And yeah.
So,
But if we don't raise rates. We don't,
no?
I think bring it on Tuesday, I think we have to.
I think so too, Eric. Okay. And then along with that, Mr. Strong wants to include thinks we should include availability fees and tap fees because we haven't had an increase in quite some time, right, Mr. Strong?
I believe 5 years.
It's been 5 years.
And
Doing that, want to prepare for the future.
We do.
and
So
that needs to be part of the same study?
it does.
And is there additional cost for those?
Oh, probably, but you'll get that money back once you start charging those
Yeah.
fees. And the financial management report, they said they do our financial management report anyway. So we'll talk about it, approve it Tuesday or I'll just a consensus to tell them to get started on it is, I just think we need to do that.
So I think we should wait until Tuesday when the whole council's
enough.
here to vote, but, yeah, I think put it on there and we need to move forward with it, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you, that's all I have.
Under plan, boat dock agreement.
We had
Are we done with the rate study?
Yeah,
Oh, Emily, oh, we were supposed to amend the agenda to include the picnic. I said, mine's got picnic, but I wrote it on mine.
oh, I've got picnic on mine.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just printed these before I left, so
Oh, okay.
we need to,
Let's talk about the picnic, go
let's talk
ahead.
about the picnic.
Okay.
We're there.
We've got our players in place. Sierra, Matt, Suzanne, Sarah, Pete, Jimmy, and I. And I was wondering if the 17th would work for everyone, July the 17th. That's the only feedback I think I got, that they were leaning toward that date.
July
Yes.
17th?
July 17th, yep.
Now, the 4-H fair is going on, so I don't know if that affects anyone that day, but,
Friday, July 17th, okay.
Yep,
okay, we'll make it July 17th.
around noon.
You guys, department heads, you guys all good with that?
Good enough. Alrighty.
And that's at noon?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did he do?
Showed you his phone.
You guys all good? Okay.
All right. Moving on to planning, Frank, on boat dock agreement.
I can talk to it if you want. So there's just, there's an agreement in place for the planning department to use a public boat for some activity. And this is an agreement to allow that to move forward. So typically, we don't do motions and meeting and staff meetings, but we are now on recordings, and so I'll make a motion to approve the boat dock agreement as presented.
I will second.
With all those, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed?
So did you vote?
Sorry,
Was it
I meant,
three?
it was 3-0. I voted yea.
Eric Hayden, motion.
And typically, we don't do that, but
Second, Emily Pearson. Thank you. Oh, also, did you guys decide on an exec session Tuesday or not?
I don't think they're aware of it.
Oh,
6:30, 6?
6:30.
6:30?
4:30?
Here,
Okay.
Tuesday. Aaron sent out an email, wanted to know if you guys were available, but I don't think he sent it to everybody, did he? My apologies, I thought
I didn't get
I
it.
didn't get it.
Aaron
I'm
wants to
good
know if
with
we're
it.
available for an exec session Tuesday.
6:30
Joe
Tuesday.
said yes, Emily's a yes.
Oh, I did?
Oh, did you? I said, did you?
I'm a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
6:30.
we're good.
We're good, Mr. Strong, thanks for reminding me.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to fire. Chris?
Did you guys get the email I sent earlier?
We did.
Did.
Okay. So first one was just to let you guys be aware, we did sell ladder 22 to Court in Kentucky, just across the river from Evansville, for $35,000. We paid $3,500 to the site who sold it 10 feet, which netted us $31,500. Did you get that yet? Have you seen it come through?
Yes,
Okay, I just want to make sure. I
Yep,
actually had
we did.
Are they coming to pick it up, or?
They picked it up on Saturday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Saturday, I took the title, we had it all turned over, and left for us is we're sending them apart, and we were waiting on to fix it once we got the deal set. Part of it was we did a ladder test and an engine test, just to make sure that, give them an accurate test, because they haven't been tested for a couple of years. So part of the agreement was we would test those, we got those things done, $475 worth of parts, a ladder test and pump test, and we spent $2,880 to get the truck ready to sell. Good deal. Worked really well. The site was very easy to deal with. So, just an update for you guys to let you know.
So you did ask to get that 2,888?
Anyways, we had budget for that. That's something we were planning to do this year, so if we could, the question, we could just get that portion put back in our truck.
So the funds out of the previous meeting, we said would go back to just the general fund. But he's asking for that 2,888 because it came out of their budget. That wasn't planned for this truck to go back to him. I am okay with that.
I am too.
I am too.
Okay.
Put it on for Tuesday or.
I don't think it even has to go.
No.
There's consensus?
Yeah.
So that was all I had on that. I got the news this week, July 8th, I'm going to do the inspection, the new truck, the new ambulance, go up to Ohio to look at. And so I just need to probably work with this area on financing, like what are the different options to present to you guys to decide what the best route is
For
for that.
what?
Financing for the ambulance.
Oh.
What the best way looks.
Okay.
Well, so we still, so I have to go back to my normal question. And we were supposed to discuss tonight, we as a council, when we added the additional resources, I use "we" lightly, said we need to discuss if we are going to take this ambulance or not, or if we are going to let it go to someone else. So that's question one. And then question two, if that answer is yes, we need the ambulance and we want to move forward with the ambulance, do we go outside finance, let them go outside finance, or do we finance it internally and have that interest of roughly 4% come back to the town?
I think we need the ambulance. And financing. Do you guys
Well-
want to work together to see what the best?
Well, you had initially said that we would continue to use the ambulance fund, but that's only
To
a
pay
payment
it.
of 30, but that's only a payment of 38,000. You're not going to pay that.
I
And
think we have a little bit of room to increase that payment. I would do it.
because the
So-
38,000 is not
I
going to
think
pay for an
it's- I
ambulance
think
in
we
5
might
years, not a
say it's 7 years.
$450,000 ambulance.
Well, so there's two parts to this. The
Yes.
previous fire chief, do you know how much is in that fund?
Yes, I do.
396.
So
Ambulance. I have 400,000, 410.
So the goal is to pay it down to that payment, like what we could do, what we
Oh,
can do,
okay.
figure out how to get it to that payment.
Oh, I can do it.
We typically do about 7-year bond maybe on those.
No, we've always, the last two I've seen, I've 5-year.
Oh, 5 years, okay.
But,
So
on-
whatever the bond numbers, we have to figure out how to pay it down to.
I can do a schedule
Okay.
and figure it out.
So what was, before you came on, what was talked about, because I was a liaison for a long time, is we would use a large portion of that. I mean, I know there's ambulance operating fees, right? So that, at that time was 100, so maybe 150 a year is what you're using? I don't know. You need
Yeah,
to,
something like that.
you need to come back to us and tell us what that is. So that would allow you to pay 200 or 250 down, if you have 400 in there, right? And then borrow the rest.
Correct.
Because the idea is that as those funds come in, get this thing paid off, and then for the next one, you should be able, the target would be to pay straight outright.
Oh, for another ambulance.
Yes.
Down the road.
Yes,
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah.
So that was the intent of that fund, is to pay it down and then, but you guys need to come back, work those numbers and see what you're comfortable with, because you have to have operating
Correct.
funds as well.
Yeah,
And I thought that was around
I talked to
100.
Lance about it, we were kind of spitballing different things, and he said, basically, we're just trying to figure out how we can do that, whether that's pay the whole thing down, or add it, make our payment a little bit more each year, like maybe our payment goes to 45 a year, maybe taking however much it takes out of the fund to bring it to that, a 5-year loan schedule. So, and then also, secondary to this, we have several things that we're paying, so the $408,000 cost of ambulance, but it's actually down to 381 because they pulled the cot out, because the cot that they bid for doesn't exist anymore, they can make it, it's been 2.5 years or so. They stopped making that cot. The new cot has gone from $26,000 to $48,000. So we pulled that out and we're working on buying from a different source, so we can get our costs back close to that. So
Is that
we're
not-
gonna- that's what the different breakdown there was, having the ambulance, the cot, getting the decal and the lights, and that's the communication devices.
Is that cot the automatic lift?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guts in the ambulance are already there, it's the actual cot that's sliding in and out that we're gonna buy separately from that. So that'll be part of, but that would be part of like, probably paying cash for that out of our non-working fund also. And then, on a side note, we're having a discussion with another ambulance service has already approached us about buying ambulance, we're getting rid of it.
Oh,
So we're having contract talks with them about what it's worth and what that would be like, and we have to do the process of lifting listing it and putting it as a paper.
I can advertise
I
that.
think we've already got a buyer potentially for it, so.
Nice.
According to that, that would be, we're hoping, or say no, because we have to get that from the process, but we're talking to them about possibly, and that's a 2012 ambulance, so that's a positive that we have a buyer potential for.
For sure.
Has a need also.
So there was discussion of which one would you keep?
Was that?
So we had two today,
So
correct?
the one that's our current frontline ambulance would then become our backup, and then our current backup is the one we're looking to sell.
And you don't know how much that is?
I have an idea that we haven't really had that discussion publicly with them, so I didn't want to say what they, we kind of just started that process. They reached out last week about potential looking into it.
Okay. I mean, at one point, we talked about keeping it as
Okay.
a backup.
The third,
And in case, yeah, and in case there's expansion.
we had the second one, and it's, I mean, when you're talking about a 2012 ambulance, it's that point no longer says it just keeps losing value. It's got value right now that would actually pay for a lot of these things on here that we're trying to do. So, I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not that value will exist, will become nothing in 3 or 4 years we hold on to it.
All right, well, hopefully you can talk numbers when you come
Yeah.
Tuesday, so. So, I mean, I think this needs to be on the, sorry, Dennis, I'm taking over.
No, I'm,
I think this needs to be on a staff meeting to discuss those two. One is, are we moving forward with it? And two is, are we going to go out for financing, or are we going to finance internal? I don't know if you found, I mean, I think outside it was what, 4.5%-ish?
Mm-hmm.
So at 4%, I don't know, the interest that you're making, is it above or below that?
Below,
So it would make sense for us to do a 4% then?
3.5. I'm making 3.5 and I'm
Okay,
spending.
so it would make sense for us to do 3.75 or 4%. If you're comfortable with that.
Oh, sure.
So it's roughly, call it 425, about 425,000, I just rough math of those items.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So you'd just be moving money from the ambulance fund to the
No.
general?
no, not at all. So call it 425, they're gonna put down,
We're going to put down X number.
call it 200,
Okay, 200.
200,000, so now you're at 225 roughly, I'm talking rough numbers, that we, instead of going out for financing, we would finance at, instead of 4.5%.
Oh, just
we
pay
would-
for it out of our,
And then our
gotcha.
non-reverting fund can pay the town back.
Yep, and then they would make the payment instead of to Lake City Bank or whoever to the town.
Yeah, gotcha. So that's why I say we're just moving money from the ambulance fund to the general account fund.
Oh, for the payments, yes,
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 okay.
correct.
Gotcha.
If
I'd be
that's-
happy to take your money.
I mean, it's a,
I'm
like I
good.
said, you know, you can make a little more interest.
Sure.
And save us interest. We meet in the middle and save both of us.
But we would need Aaron to write up a document that says that fund has to pay
Sure.
X amount a year, just like we do with,
I'll do an amortization schedule. We do, yeah.
see, did you have an agreement?
No. Oh, no. No. We paid for it. But he signed in blood.
So I think, would you mind reaching out to Aaron, see if we could
Will
do
do.
some, just because that is it a non-reverting fund? I don't remember. So, yeah, just to make sure it's clarified, if that's the way we want to go.
Okay,
And to me, it makes
We always
sense.
pay out it anyways for that same payment.
Correct, right.
It would just be who pay yields. instead of-
Yeah, absolutely.
perfect.
So that would be my recommendation, let the town make a little more, and
Heck, yeah, I'm in.
you have anything else, Chris?
I had the staffing information, I just wanted to give that to you guys to kind of look over, but I wanted to try to see if we could arrange like one-on-one for you, because it's way more complex than this meeting. So it'd be much easier to sit down one-on-one and go through, start talking through that, because that's long-term stuff.
can you reach out to each I'm sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Dennis.
He's reached out. He emailed us.
I know, I read it, but,
I'll reach out to her and then we can just all sit down and go through an hour each, just, that
Okay.
way we can just talk about it, it'll be easier to go through it that way. No, that's all I have.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
So, you're moving it along, man. It's okay. Anything for you, Jeff?
I didn't have anything on the agenda, but I gave you something. Yeah, Terry.
Okay.
Terry, that's so sweet of you.
Wants me to bring up the signage for the truck weight limit.
Okay.
That's going to effect here on the 27th. Terry, Dan, and I, and Shannon all drove around earlier this week and just kind of looked at things, and as we went, it kind of grew. If we're trying to cover every street in town to keep people off of, I think would say total about 20 signs if we want to try to keep them off every street. Some of them might be difficult to keep them off of, just because of their options to turn. Some of them might be difficult to get because we have to get permission from the county on numerous. Yeah.
So, I guess 236 is a main thoroughfare, correct? So if we put them out at Tollgate, we could force them, I guess that's not really a good bypass, but Tollgate's north is us. We don't own Tollgate
Tollgate
north,
South,
is
for
us.
what, half mile, three-quarter mile, something like that, is on us. If you put them right at Tollgate, they'd be on city property, right? And so you don't have to get permission there. If you go out the other direction, as we're coming in town on the east side, you probably want to get it before they get to town, or they're all going to be committed.
I think it makes most sense to go out and see what the NDOT and what the county think. I guess what's your
I
recommendation?
think that's what we were talking about. Put them up on our property, on the town's property, where we can, and then count on enforcement. And then at the same time, ask the county, ask DOT, or NDOT, and anybody else that we have to get permission from. I know when we did our flock camera, it was a 6-month wait to get permission to put it on their property. So, I mean, it could be a while before they respond to you.
Okay.
It could be a
I
while.
don't have any
And
problem with putting them up on city limits for now.
Well,
And
and-
expand from that.
We'll start the
And
other
start the
process
others.
as well.
Just like East Jackson, West Jackson, we could do, what was it, South End of Stringtown, put them on our property. You start with 6, 8 signs maybe, 10. Then if you go elsewhere, then you're up to 20, 20 plus probably. By the time you hit all the other avenues, trying to catch everybody from sneaking around, to avoid a sign at Tollgate 236, maybe they'll come in off 226 around Tollgate, go through Morris Landing, and I don't know, we were thinking all kinds of things, where somebody could try to avoid it and go, I didn't see your signs, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's kind of what we did.
Happens once and there'll be a sign there.
Once somebody realizes how to get it on, I'd tell my buddy, and then he can start taking this way, and then, but that's when we started planning for the worst case scenario on all these signs and which signs to put up, and they started accumulating pretty quick.
So it is agreed that we start at city limits and then look
Well-
into other avenues and,
And hopefully.
In
enforcement double
Parallel,
up.
in parallel, make contact and
yeah.
get approval to put out.
And you talked about, on GPS?
Right, we've talked about.
We talked about it.
Somehow get it on that GIS like you do now.
Yeah. I don't know the answer.
Down road, my car will say, hey, we've got construction ahead, so there must be some way that you could.
Like Google Maps.
Yeah, Google Maps, yeah. I don't know how, but there has to be some way to do that.
I can talk to your IT lady and see if she knows anything.
Let's do that.
Okay.
It's pretty sharp.
So we'll move forward with the signage on city limits for now and look into the other
Okay.
avenues of NDOT
And like I said,
GPS.
hopefully enforcement and just the word of
Yeah.
mouth between them talking to their coworkers, and if they get pulled over and all that, and spread the word. We'll be handing out like copies of the ordinance is what I presume. If we pull them over, it's like, here, read the ordinance where you can, can't be, and
Okay. Thank you.
oh, thank you.
Uh,
I didn't say anything about, That'll have to be, if we put the signs there, to push them down that little stretch. So one of the things in that email, if we put up that one sign at the city limits on Stringtown, what it'll do is it'll push them on our little stretch, that's 216, that little stretch of 216 before they get into the county, trying to do it, to 19. I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. And,
So traffic will be diverted to 216th Street to get over to 19.
That's one little piece of,
Yeah.
Our roads that we will be diverting.
I didn't think we had 216.
We don't
This
yet.
little section of.
We have about 100 yards, 150 yards from Stringtown
Oh.
to the east, that is actually the city limits, both lanes, I do believe, right?
Is it just to the far end of, to the east side of the church or something like that?
It is.
It's like right to the main entrance, I think.
Okay. I mean, that's better than having them come all the way down Stringtown.
Exactly.
So,
Now, the other piece of that would be a similar scenario on Tollgate Road, because if you put it at the limits, their option is to turn on Tollgate. So that's what we started talking about, is the council okay with their own Tollgate at 216? Because basically, if you put them at the entrance to the community, you're going to push them on some of our roads, so we really don't have a whole lot of choice. And that's where it led into discussion that we would need to put a sign clear out of Mill Creek in order to divert them before they got to Tollgate Road. So is the council comfortable with trucks being on Tollgate and 216? So that is where this whole discussion came in from, how many signs we're really going to need and how far do we need to go out so they have options before they get to any of our roads.
no, I mean, they need to be pulled over, in my opinion, if they get there, and maybe a little flexibility until people understand, right? If they're coming that route.
Yeah, because we can actually put a sign on Tollgate, so they come out and they see the sign on Tollgate.
Yeah.
Because really,
At that point, they're probably, committed that they're gonna come into town. By the time they see the sign, doing 40 miles an hour or whatever, when they enter our city limits, and they might already be, until they get pulled over or find out. But I'm like you, if you give them a grace period, once it comes into effect, if we give them a grace period of 30 days or whatever, we just stop them, try to alert everybody that there is a new ordinance, they gotta find a different direction.
yes.
And hopefully that,
I guess I was assuming that when you mentioned city limits, I would have thought Tollgate would be a part of that, out even to the south near 226th Street, where our town begins.
So if you get there, they can't turn around, though, is the problem.
Well,
There's no place to turn around.
but I think that's where I know that. But they're going to be on it anyway, and we just can monitor it from that place. You're not going to ticket them for that, but we then can get out and figure out on Mill Creek or,
We did. I've got several pages here.
I bet you do.
Exactly how many signs and where we would have to be in the county, on the state, and Noblesville. We drove, but it's going to be far reaching.
I was only thinking that it may cause them, if they go through once and see the sign, they may, the next time, just voluntarily choose a different route because
That's what Jeff.
that's what we're hoping for. Yeah, I'm hoping for that. And like I said, if we start pulling them over, and, like I said, my plan is to have copies of the ordinance so they can actually read it, what it cannot be. And then, they tell the 5 companies that's trucking through Jackson Street all the time, they can pass the word to their other drivers, and hopefully they start finding a different road to travel.
Okay.
Hopefully. If that
It's-
doesn't get it, then we probably have to attack put more signage out.
We're-
pushing it further out.
If you guys would, though, work that in parallel, please, the additional signage out on NDOT and Hamilton County roads. Just, so that sounds, you guys were already doing it, so, planning on it, so yeah, I think that's right.
So go ahead and do this at the city limits, reach out and start getting the feel from the county.
Yes, yes, sir.
Terry Cooper, wastewater and waterworks, task order for waterworks.
Yes.
I'll get it right.
Since I delegated the other one.
Yeah, so I got a phone call from Keith, and he sent that task order out for the surveying, the whole, that surveying, as you can see, for the whole water works improvement project. One of the things that Keith was saying, and I think he puts a little bit of that in his email, is that some of the surveying is going to be done by an airplane, aerial surveying, and he says that we could save quite a few thousands of dollars by doing the aerial survey versus boots on the ground. One of the problems he's got is that the crops are getting ahead of us to where the aerial survey won't be as accurate or wouldn't work. So in other words, it'll delay the project till fall when the crops come out, or cost more money to do a traditional survey. So what he was asking is if he could get a consensus. I told him that, 2 of the council members are going to be gone tonight, but if he could get a consensus that he could be reimbursed for the $8,000 for the flight itself. So what he done is he went out on a limb and,
So he would like approval to be able to go and get in line for this, is what he would like approval for. So I think it's the right thing. I mean, again, I don't like to make,
No, I discussed it.
agree.
I agree. We
It
both,
makes
so
sense.
I'll make a motion to let him go out and spend $8,000 on an aerial
And I'll second it.
survey.
all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? 3-0 vote. We'll pass the task.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Again, I just want to reiterate, we typically don't vote, but we are being recorded and videoed, so it has changed the game a little bit because now all the general public can see this, so.
Rhonda, clerk?
Yep, I started working on the budget, actually got the budget.
Oh, I'm sorry, can I go back to one more thing?
Sure.
Terry, one other thing, we talked about potential of people using water out of Harbor Trees Church. I did speak with Pastor Schultz, Stephen Schultz, and they may have a camera on that. He thought it was up at it was along 216th, but you told me it was in the back, wasn't it?
Yes, it is. It's around the back of the church, be on the east side of the church.
So he is, if his cameras don't cover it, he is willing to share his video. And if they do not cover it, he is willing to put up a trail cam or something to catch license plates, to address theft. Do you know him at all? I looked to see if I had his phone number in my phone book, and I do not. Would you mind reaching out to him? Looks like maybe Jeff has his number.
Let me check.
But if you would reach out to him, they were more than happy to either help us with their existing cameras or let you put up a camera. And if you have trouble, just let me know.
Okay.
So, getting in touch with them. I think that's all I had, sorry.
That's
Rhonda.
okay. All I have is budget. I've been working on the budget for the last week or so, and I did send council a copy of the budget that I prepared for you. However, I was just looking for some guidance, because historically, council has never taken a pay increase, so I did not include one, but if you want me to change that, I'll be happy to change that for you.
My vote is no.
My
I
vote
don't
is
think,
no.
we don't need a pay increase.
Okay.
We don't do it for the money.
I like how you're thinking, Emily, but you guys sure do a lot of work.
So then, I also highlighted attorneys, so it's a
Uh-huh.
5,000 increase. Is
Well, I just did that because Aaron, I was under the impression Mr. Culp was going to start doing a pay increases, same as the employees. So the rate that's in there now is exactly, I think there's some, yeah. The rate that's in there now covers his and a portion of some other legal. But I increased it in case you guys voted him in his contract's year to year. If you vote him in one, you would be able to sustain that.
Can you, I know you have it, before we approve this, can you let us know put together in a summer, in a...
Oh, I have it.
I know
just-
you do.
But I don't have any of the department, I think Terry's the only one I've met with, and Jimmy, but I haven't met with the others too.
Legal fees that we've gone to outside
Oh.
counsel for. I know you have it.
I
Would
do.
you mind sharing that with us?
I will
Okay.
share later.
Thank you.
So, no rate increase, and I will,
No, I'm not saying that for him.
No, for you
Okay,
guys.
Yes,
and so, and I'll put together the legal, send you the legal fees.
thank you.
Anything
Where
else you
we've gone
need?
to outside counsel.
Uh-huh, outside counsel. But I hope to get the budget, my part wrapped up, and by the next staff meeting, have it all nailed down so we can approve it in September.
Why did Invoice Cloud increase?
After I implemented it, I thought once I paid for the program, I didn't think about the monthly. It's about $250 a month for them to do our mailings. It's like $1. I can't, like 50 cents a piece. We have 266 users that we bill, and each of them has a fee associated with them, because they actually do our billing and mailing now, so.
So that's for the mailing?
It is.
So I'm part of the problem? Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Oh, my gosh.
That hurts a bit.
So
But that's why
you
Lisa.
can go to $29.99 then, because I'll just go online.
I think that's the only thing I increased, the legal, I thought there was.
Election costs.
Election, because presidential, we have a huge, in between, it's only like $500, but when the big election comes, we have a big cost sucked to us by the county, so just want to make sure I had that covered.
I did ask Rhonda, well, were you done on that one?
What's it?
Were you?
Sure.
Okay. I did ask Rhonda why the street light repair is under town council, and why not, is that normally under your department?
No.
Okay.
We've never,
That's why, it's just, he asked me why, and I said, because it's always been
yeah,
there.
it's always been, and a lot of the street lights always been, I don't have a budget for it. So it's-
Okay, right. It just seemed odd to be under town council to me for some reason.
Parks Department,
Okay, I'll shut up. Anything else, Rhonda?
No, thank you.
Okay. Dan, curb repair?
Oh, goodness.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Where's this at?
Right
19
there by
in
Big
Jackson.
Dogs to the
So as
west
we,
of Big Dogs.
so as we were looking at East Jackson Street, getting ready for the community crossing matching grant with Howard Company, Terry, Keith, and I were walking down through there, and we noticed there by the box at the corner of State Road 19 and East Jackson Street on the southeast corner, that was deteriorating and falling apart. And knowing how the council feels about all the work that was done on West Jackson Street, knowing we were going to do work on East Jackson Street, that at some point somebody was going to say, why didn't we do something about this corner? So that is an NDOT's right-of-way. So I talked to Keith about it. Keith reached out to NDOT. NDOT has no objection to us doing the work there. And so then, once we found out about that, Keith reached back out to Howard Company, which is the contractor for East Jackson Street, got a quote on it. It looks like it would be $4,584.17 is the estimate to do that work. Now, there may be some underruns on the East Jackson Street project that might be able to offset that, or part of it or all of it, but we won't know until that work's completed. So I guess just looking to, if the council would like to move forward with doing that repair, and if such, we'd want to let Howard Company know sometime next week so they could schedule that as part of the East Jackson Street repair.
Can you wait till Tuesday to vote on it, or you want?
No, we can wait till Tuesday. I just
I
wanted
think the
to,
consensus would be yes. I mean, we're doing all this work, it needs to be fixed.
but anyway, no, I just wanted to, talk about it this evening to make you aware of it so you'd have time to think about it as well. So, no, Tuesday's fine.
So that is just the curb Or that's, because the sidewalk looks a little broken up. as
So
well.
you'll have some curb work there, you'll have a little bit of sidewalk work there, and you'll have some blacktop work when they tear that curb out.
Okay,
So,
and they're going to be working there anyway for blacktop, so,
correct.
Okay.
And that's where we're thinking there might be some, dollars left out of that project that could offset some of that, but we won't know until that project's completed, so.
consensus to move forward and, I guess, vote on Tuesday?
But if you want to add that to the agenda, we can certainly talk about it Tuesday evening for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Can you add that, please?
I think the only other thing that, in case you haven't noticed, the 20-minute parking signs are installed. The 20-minute red dot that was part of the ordinance is there, and then also there was a 20-minute, or a 20 put inside the red dot to help to identify that. So Chief Rednauer and Mr. Cooper and his team worked on that, and we were able to get that done. So I think that project's completed as well now. So
Any feedback on that?
I have not heard anything at this particular point. I know someone came out of a Sullivan's and asked what was going on, and they were glad to be seeing that being done. But other than that, I've not heard anything. I can't speak for either.
I haven't heard a word about it.
Okay,
I have noticed that all the other parking spaces will be full, and people aren't parking there periodically, so evidently people are paying attention to it at least.
good.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hunter?
The only thing I have for tonight is a discussion for you on the LWCF grant that we've been working diligently on. I don't necessarily need an answer tonight, but something to think about that we have to do is there's a stairway on the northwest corner of the entire park that was originally in the master plan design. And Dennis, if you can, you can bring that up in case anybody needs to see it. But the original design has a stairway there that connects at the far northwest corner and allows people to go up to the pedestrian walkway. If we leave that in the plan, right now today, it's looking like that entire project would be a $2.4 million project if we leave that stairway in.
I'll get there, Jim. Keep going.
Tentatively, if we take that project, if we take that stairway out, it probably brings it down to around the $2.2 million project. So we're looking for a little bit of guidance on what to do, but with the caveat that I talked to Julie and everybody again yesterday and today, and they think they're still continuing to work diligently and tweak all their numbers and things like that. Trying to figure out, they think there's a possibility that that number will come down and not be as big, so it could be, if we leave it in, we might be able to get it to the 2.2 or 2.3. The bottom line is, if we take it out, we can save, according to today's numbers, almost $200,000. So just something we need to think about and get input from you guys on what you think needs to be done. Do you know what stairway I'm talking about there? Dan, should
And the stairway that went right in here.
It wouldn't be ADA anyway. You mentioned that today, so taking it out,
Well, your ADA is going around and coming.
yeah, you would.
That was correct, right, Mr. Chairman?
That's
That was
that's
the
right, so-
correct location, yes.
Yeah, that's correct. It's an ADA compliant ramp because we would have ADA access at the marina. So we don't have to have it on both ends. But it's a lot of money to put that staircase in there. So we can take it out and try to save some costs, or we can wait and see if they can tweak their numbers and pull it down more. Just want to get that to you and get you thinking about what we might want to do with that project. We also found out that we can spend park impact dollars for part of this project. We are asking for the full $1 million, the maximum amount from the LWCF. So if we get the $1 million grant and we leave the stairway in, our contribution is going to be around 2.4. And again, that could change when we're trying to tighten that down even more.
1.4.
Huh?
Our contribution would
Our
be,
contribution is 1.4, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because we have to sure.
But I was gonna have to do
and
CPR.
what's in the park, how much is in the park impact, roughly?
While she's looking that up, we have to stress that if we contribute some park impact money toward the project, that money specifically is in part for the trail extension and the trail amenities and the extras. That money is not eligible for the seawall itself. So we just have to explain that if we take X from park impact, that the overall picture is not, we just have to explain it.
I have $370,000 in park impact fees.
I mean, that's for the trail along the road, probably. I don't know how much you would want to spend, but that portion of shifting the road so you get the trail
Yeah.
on the north side.
And we have done, the designers have done a significant amount of work. They're shifting the road through here and adding these, but we are keeping, to save money, the original location and drive is staying where it's at.
Okay.
So that's going to save us a significant amount of money by not trying to move it south and do things like that.
Just so you know, I really like that extra spot that comes out. I don't like the extra steps when I go for my walk. On the
Here?
west side,
Here or here?
right there.
I understand. Well, never mind, I'll talk about that.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm probably the guilty, well, not me. My family's probably the guilty party of what you're going to talk about.
No, there's hundreds and hundreds of people would cut through there, and there's not enough room. And we've discussed at length making a short path through to connect with there.
Yes.
But we've talked about that all for a long time, so, but I agree, that that path would be a very wonderful access for a lot of people. So, I need to, I guess, think about those things.
When do you submit for this? Or what's the plan?
We have to submit to the state or to LWCF at the end of July. We need to have this nailed down from the council and the money and how we're going to pay for it. I'm hoping to get this at the July, no later than the July 7th council meeting. That gives us 2 weeks to get things ready and then another week for everybody to be able to review. If I push it to the second meeting in July, we won't have enough time to finalize everything. So we just need to know, and then we need to have a letter from the council. Let's see what I got here. Basically a letter that we can submit to the state and, or submit to LWCF committee on finance.
How much of that park impact fee are you willing to,
Me?
yeah,
I honestly don't know. I mean, we've not used any, much of that money,
No, we haven't used any since I've been here.
but we don't have any money coming in. The only thing we've ever paid for it recently, we took some money out of it for some consulting fees, but that's a whole other matter. But, so I would be willing to use a considerable amount of that money, but we also have to plan for future property that we feel like we're working on now, and things that we feel like we're in the works.
yeah, I don't know many projects that need it more than this one.
I don't disagree.
I mean, you're losing park ground at the moment. So, or not marina ground anyway, okay.
I'd probably be real nervous if you said, let's take 300,000 of it, but at the same time, I understand the importance of this grant. And I question myself every day that if we do not get this grant, how will we possibly ever deal with this problem?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Park impact fees are for new development, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm earning about $10,000 a year in interest from that.
And did we reevaluate park impact fees?
No.
No, sir, you opted to take a look at it in the fall when it was presented, what was it, last meeting, I believe it was, that, let's take a wait and look at it in the fall, have further discussion about moving forward with the park impact fee study.
Okay.
I think that cost was 35,000? 35?
For the study to redo the fees with potential things and changes coming in the future.
Yeah.
Decided to wait until fall for real. But when we do start it, it's about a 4-month process to go through that and get it completed, and then there's a 6-month timeframe where, before it takes effect by law. So we felt like waiting until the fall, we could address it again, and then be ready for anything next spring.
And that is assessed when?
So that is assessed when a building permit is issued.
Okay, it's at the building permit. Okay.
Collected at that point, it's basically for any new developments you said. So I think the important fact of this is timing for any potential new development in the future, that it allows that we're able to capture that new development.
So
They
the,
don't get in under an old rate.
so the fall is acceptable, or is it not acceptable?
Well, I think based upon the conversation that we had, I believe all is acceptable, yes.
Okay.
And so I think it's important to say, we don't necessarily need a decision for exactly how much money you're going to take from the park impact study fees. We just need a commitment letter for the LWCF for the 1.4 or wherever it is they continue to roll down.
Up to 1.4, so,
Geo bonds. It's only about
Well,
that kind of money.
if we could end up taking $1 million out of the deal bond, and 300,000 or 200,000 out of the park impact, I think, and we understand that could be decided later. We just need a commitment from the towns for
Yeah.
X.
so would you mind putting that on the agenda too?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is that what you understand? I don't think we need to know that we're taking 1.1 from the GEO bond, and we don't think we have
They
to
don't
give
care.
an explanation. We
Yeah.
just need a commitment.
Is that something that Aaron writes up, or is this something that we do as the town?
Aaron would just write the
Yeah,
letter.
we can have Aaron write a commitment letter.
And the million, it's a 50/50 match, is it a? It is 50/50?
Up to $1 million.
Up to $1 million.
Yeah, up to $1 million.
I'm guessing the intent letter would be very similar to what we have to do for the community crossing matching grant.
Okay,
When we apply for it, we have to submit a commitment letter that we have the funds, and those funds are being allocated to that project if it gets approved.
okay. With the proposal that you showed, does that include any dredging around there to get the seawall down so you could get up next to it? Not dredging, but maybe adjusting where that seawall goes?
There is a significant amount of money there to be able to dig that, and with the, according to the Army Corps of Engineers, we need to stay within the existing line or wall. But as I talked to Dennis about today, there, in terms of dredging, they'll just be removing a lot of concrete and trying to keep it as far against the soil line as they can.
I just meant like all that runoff that we've lost ground, they will put that back up in our
Well,
property?
we're gonna try, but it's hard to know where the line used to be. and
Okay.
Where it started, so there's a significant amount of just guesswork and due diligence that we have to put into it as we construct that wall.
Right,
But when we did it, when we built the wall for the marina, they pulled a lot of product out and kept it back as far as they could.
Oh, I just meant any of our runoff that's making it shallow there. I mean, when they drive that wall, they will fix that problem.
We're gonna try really hard.
Okay,
There's no commitment to dredge 15 feet out into the water and make it deeper.
understand,
There's no money in there for that.
yes.
We had an extensive conversation today about doing our due diligence to keep that seawall back and keep that cove area open.
Okay,
I am very concerned that I don't want that seawall to go out into that cove and impede our ability to use those docks.
yes. Okay,
And I can tell you, because I'm one of the boat renters that come around to the backside, or used to,
Not anymore.
you know, like, got over to the east side. But, you can get to about 3 foot of the shoreline and still run your prop and not be concerned. But if the water goes down, you start seeing it. Pieces of concrete and rock and things that are down there.
okay,
So they're pretty doggone close to the shore, and we're all the time running through there, so I don't think it'll be a problem. And they'll probably have to pull that back. I would expect them to pull that back right along where the rock and stuff is in order to get the seawall in.
Right.
okay, that was my question.
And I did confirm that you and I talked today that walkway, concrete walk path down at the seawall will be 8 foot wide.
Will be what?
8
8
feet
feet.
wide.
Okay. Now, that's,
So the pictures that I sent to you guys in the past of examples and things like that, that's only a 5 foot wall. But they recommend for the accessibility and fishermen and things like that, to be 8 feet wide so people can still get through.
understood.
So the two issues is deciding on the stairway and the commitment letter.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Anybody else?
I will be at conference July 12th through July 16th. And, I don't know where it is. I can't tell you. Up north, Blue Chip, wherever that is.
July 12th?
Through the 16th. But I'll have my laptop and available, whatever you need.
Enjoy.
Pardon me?
Said enjoy.
He said enjoy.
Oh,
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, Emily? All those in favor? Say
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Adjourned.